Hey guys, welcome back to Allison Customs. Channel just went over 10,000 subscribers. I know in the realm of YouTube that's not a huge number, but I'm very proud of it. I wish to thank all of you who have watched, subscribed, told your friends about the channel. I appreciate it. It's very exciting to me that we've hit that number. It was kind of a big number that I always just felt like if I could get there, then the channel is beginning to actually take off and do its thing. With that, we have some other news. I sold my house, and I don't know how else to put it. So, sold my house. It closes in about 2 weeks. And yes, the cats will be going with us. Which means we've sold the house, we've sold the shop, and we're going to be moving. Now, as of this very moment, we don't have a set location yet, although we are definitely going to the Washington State, Vancouver, Washington area. Definitely want to have a shop again. Fully expect to continue making videos and, growing the channel into the future. Still flying airplanes for a living, so none of that's really changing. What the part that's changing is we won't be in New Mexico for it anymore. It's kind of a big deal. I've had times when I feel like, yeah, this is definitely the right decision, and I've had plenty of days where I've been like, no, this is a terrible idea. Why are we doing this? I love this building. I have put time and energy and money into building the structure, getting things the way I like them. I was contemplating a plan. For those of you who have watched the solar and the in-floor heat videos, I was planning to take out a bunch of concrete that's been broken up over the years and just looks kind of bad. And I was going to plow through it all, run a new gas line out here, and switch this over to a gas boiler. So what have I done so far? Well, I'll move the camera here a little bit. So up here on the lift, you can see we now have Scott's C10 pickup frame and bed. Cab is still at paint, and we're still waiting for the painter to let us know he's ready for the bed. Here we have my brother's Dodge Dakota, and you can see it sitting on its own wheels. The back is up on a roller skate, just to make it easier to move. I've got to put brakes on it, finish the repairs on the fenders where, we've chipped the paint and done some welding under there and burned the paint. And all of that will be under the fender flares, so it'll never be seen, but, you want it done well. What you will not notice in here anywhere is a Mustang. So that went home. Dustin came and got it last week. I didn't film any of that. Didn't really feel like that was something you guys would be interested in. But it went home because I'm not going to have anywhere to store it. We haven't been making any progress on it in well over a year, really almost 18 months. So it just seemed like time to quit storing it and wait for Dustin, the owner, to be ready to financially move forward with it. And then we'll see about getting it back and doing some work. Under the car cover here is the red C10 pickup that we've done the all-wheel drive conversion on. That's the engine for it, sitting right here. It's been sitting in that same spot for a couple months now. It's ready to go in the truck, fully rebuilt, ready to go. It's got a truck Norris cam in it. I think I've mentioned that in the past. This is my Mustang with the EcoBoost, which I started years and years ago and have not touched in many years. This is another Mustang that my original plan was to move that body and put it on top of this Trailblazer SS chassis and have an all-wheel drive Mustang. So that's still a possibility. I'm kind of leaning more towards, I don't know if some of you may remember, I have a 240 Volvo DL two-door, so 242. And I put a straight six in it out of a T6 Volvo with the twin turbos, 5-speed, and a Tremec 5-speed. And I was very close to getting that car put back together and decided, I probably should put a roll bar in here because I kind of wanted to track it. Well, I don't know that I'm going to ever do any of those things with that car. So now I'm kind of leaning towards putting that body on the Trailblazer chassis, or it's a unibody just like the Mustang. So trimming down this chassis and making a unibody all-wheel drive 242 Volvo. I have many parts gathered up for it. That is all currently, as of yesterday, loaded in a trailer with all of its parts, and it's ready to go to Washington to storage. So that is my cars. The red C10, I believe my brother and my nephew are going to come out in January. We're going to try and get the engine in, get it wired, and they're going to be here about a week. Try and get the engine in, get it wired, and get it fired off. If that happens, then we are very close to being able to finish it. I've got a few things I need to do before they get here just to make things go smoothly, which may include I may throw the engine in, but I need to, where we cut the floor to go over the transfer case and some other stuff, I need to go ahead and get all that patched up and welded. A few other things. If I can get those few things done cosmetically, it might mean the truck is ready to go back to Houston to my brother and my nephew for the rest of its life. The white truck, that's the intent, is to get it done in that same week, if I don't already have it done by the time they get here. And then that and the red truck could get shipped on the same truck back to Houston. So we're playing with those ideas. The white truck may come back again in the future in Washington, and we've kind of thrown about the idea of doing an LS, LT, Hellcat, Coyote motor swap, something, kind of questioning whether the Coyote would go in there. But, and that's just because of the width. But the others, we know a Hellcat will fit. We're all but certain that an LS engine will fit. Got to change the transmission if you do those. Really, you got to change the transmission no matter what, even though the I think it's Gen 3 Hemis will literally bolt up to the transmission that's in there. Part of the problem with that is the transmission's not really durable enough for that much horsepower. So that could end up being an issue if we tried to do that. But I think it will come back for a motor swap, but probably looking at about a year from now. What else is going on? It's just time over. We're going to have the house sold in the next 2 weeks, ish. And we are renting it back for a few months after that. So that's just enough time for us to pack everything up, get it moved. I am going to do a lot of the moving myself, but a big chunk of what gets moved will happen by professional movers to get it up to Washington. Things that could make the time fluctuate is if we buy a house that already has an existing shop, if we buy land and build a house and build a shop. That's been our preference. We want to buy some land, build a shop, live in our fifth wheel right next to the shop, inside the shop, something, until we can get the house built. That would be our preference, because then we can build what we want. But we're kind of open to all situations right now, just to get comfortable again as quickly as possible. So kind of circled back around the shop to where we started. That's kind of it. I've got quite a few things in here that I am not going to take with me. I stored them because I had plenty of storage space, and it just, every now and then I would dig in a box for, oh hey, I need a rubber body mount, and it didn't need to be anything specific. I could just use a generic one, and so I have a box of body mounts. Some of that stuff I'm going to take, because to continue to have a shop where you're doing custom work, you need that stuff, and you don't want to have to buy it all again. But I have a big 220 volt Miller welder from, I don't even know how old it is, 15, 20 years ago. It came out of the local college. It is an arc welder that can also do scratch start TIG, and I've never ever used it. We got it at an auction years ago, thinking it would be awesome to set up in the shop and just have an arc welder that you could drag out some leads. Thing is, I never need it. If I need an arc welder, I have other welders that can do arc that are not nearly as big and bulky, as well as I have that big gas-powered Lincoln that my father-in-law used for, it's from the 70s, so he used it probably for 40 or 50 years now, 40 years at least. And I've used it to build fence, and it's going with me, and it's gas powered, and I don't really need one just sitting in the shop. So I've got to kind of go through a lot of the stuff I have, make decisions on it, and get it sold or donate it to a charity that will make good use of it. Anyway, that's what's going on in our lives. We're moving. I have quite a bit of video backlogged that I just have not had time to edit. And when I say I haven't had time, I haven't made the time. That's part of this whole thing, is you have to make time to continue to produce a product in the form of video. So with that in mind, one of the things that has delayed me making the effort to get some video edited is, for those of you who understand the aviation side of my life, I have a check ride due in December every year. So between Thanksgiving at the end of November and trying to be around family for that, and then a check ride in December, which I always try to get scheduled for the second week. So I'm actually leaving tomorrow to do that check ride. Maybe I can get some pictures of simulators and stuff, and I can throw them in the video here just so you can see what we're talking about. I have to study for that. You know, you are in the books year round, looking at stuff, reading stuff, trying to stay up and be a professional. But when it's time for that check ride, you need to be your next level game up, you know, just to be able to answer the questions and sound smart and not feel like a dummy when you walk in there and get asked a bunch of questions. So I put time in it. I'm sure 99.9% of the other pilots in this world who approach that do the same thing. They really knuckle down when it's time to go up to their check ride to be at that top level of proficiency. Once we clear that, which will be next week, then we're 2 weeks out for Christmas. So Christmas comes up, you're trying to be around the family and doing the family things again. And again, I lose time. So I think I will be editing videos the last couple weeks of this month and getting those out. Hopefully this one at least will come out in the next week. And then following that, I'll try and get one out right around the end of December. And then starting into January, I'll try and have a sequence of them coming out, you know, once every couple of weeks to a month. And I'll continue to update you as we go through on this truck, finishing up getting the red truck to its next step. You know, probably like some of it just watching me clear some of the crap out of here and trying to get rid of it, you know, or trying to get it packed up and shipped to Washington. One more update. So because I'm leaving New Mexico, the LLC that I have for this business will be going away on December 31st. So I'll be opening a new LLC. I hope I don't have to change the channel name, but I may be changing the channel name so that I can sell, you know, so that the new LLC can own it. I don't know exactly how that works with YouTube yet, but it may be something as simple as, hey, this is what Jeff's doing. I don't know. I don't even know if I can get the same business name in Washington as that I had in New Mexico. So all of those things are things that we've got to work through, and I will keep you informed. And for those of you who are looking to make a business out of your hobby, especially if it's something to do with cars, I will share the process I go through so that you can see maybe what it takes. Or, you know, and I don't know every state by any means or anything like that, but at least I can share what I'm learning and knowing here, and you guys can use that to, you know, add a little information to your database. So again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please pass it on to your friends that videos are coming slow, but they are going to continue to come out, and we're going to have a new shop eventually. So see you in the next video, and if nothing else, I will see you in the new year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of that. See you again next time.